Here we are for the final day of the fourth test. Test match up for grabs. Test series up for grabs in Australia.
Bairstow does not review. It's another one.
It's a pleasure to meet you all in the second episode of Cricket Talks, one of your favorite shows from the House of Talks. Joining me today is our in-house expert, Rajiv. How are you, Rajiv, today? All smiles on your face?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to this chat because now we have 1-1 as a scoreline, and this is going to be an exciting series. Yeah. Fantastic. Which is not what we predicted when we first started. So it's a good thing.
That's right. And you emphasized last time when we spoke, you emphasized that India definitely have to win the second test match in Chennai because we don't know what would be the outcome of the ping pong test match and subsequent test match in Ahmedabad.
Correct. Yes.
Really a game changer.
Right. India winning the second test is like keeps the series alive and makes India's qualification to the World Test Championship a little more easier.
Yeah.
And the main thing, the best thing out of this test match, which I never knew will happen so fast, is Rishabh Pant skipping on day 5 against the running ball. I think he did a good job. And
it's a great job, isn't it?
I can go as far as saying that Wriddhiman Saha might have played his last test match for India.
Okay, cool. I think you are echoing what Ashwin also said today. Ashwin said that the mindset and the attitude that we show towards the younger generation is what the difference. He was comparing Cameron Green and Rishabh Pant. Like Cameron Green was getting big kind of hype and hoopla before the Australian series. But in the Australian series, he didn't score much or he didn't make a lot of it. But he was given a lot of confidence and a lot of ways to improve himself. And I think that's what Rishabh Pant. Maybe it's just the mindset of people. Like we are so used to find faults so quickly, rather than stay and improve people.
I agree with Ashwin's comment, Gani, with respect to Cameron Green. He was supposed to be. He was told he's the best all-rounder Australia produced in a long time, and those kind of things. For all that, he didn't even take a wicket.
That's right.
On the 4th series, right? And something similar was being built up for Dan Lawrence in the English press on his debut in Sri Lanka. And then what happened? He just kind of tapered off. Yeah, I kind of agree with Ashwin. Yep.
Cool, brilliant. So let me make you smile a bit longer today. Let's start with what second test victory for India. What's your thoughts on this?
Okay. All right. So Rohit made a sublime 160 odd in the first innings, and if you look at the score line in the first session, he got 80 runs.
Yep.
That's Sehwag-esque, David Warner-esque, right? That kind of innings, right? We know Rohit makes centuries at home are for fun, but this was not your regular Rohit at home century. This was a day 1 wicket which was turning square on in the first 3 or 4 overs, right?
Yeah.
England didn't bowl well, right? And England did not take those half chances which they took in the first innings of the first test, right? So this was the kind of innings which basically solidifies Rohit's place, right? Before this test, if there were 2 batsmen who were kind of due for runs, like in the Indian team, it was Rohit and Rahane. Both of them got the runs.
That's right.
In this test, right? So both of them got the runs, and then so basically their places is kind of secure for now in the next 2 to 3 tests, right? And then the other interesting cool stat is Rohit has made centuries in almost every test ground in India.
Wow. Okay.
His debut was at Eden Gardens, and he got 100 in Eden Gardens at debut, and then his second test was at the Mumbai, which is the Sachin Tendulkar retirement series, right? He got 100 over there, and then he got in Vizag. He got all around the place, Nagpur, whatever it is. Name your ground. He got 100.
Nice.
Let's be fair, and then
full stats
finally. Exactly, right? And then finally he comes to Chennai and he gets another 100 in Chennai. So now the deal is he has to start performing away.
Cool. That'll be his benchmark, I guess. I think he has got given maybe a few more years left in him for Test cricket. before he
probably 3-4 years, I would say, considering he's 33 right now. He has played 35 test matches. I think he looks good for 75 odd test matches if he plays well in the SEN nations, which you call South Africa, England and New Zealand, right?
Yeah.
I think he should play well in Australia because it's bouncy wickets and he's a really good player of the pull and the hook, right?
Okay.
So Australia shouldn't be a problem for him, as you saw in the last series.
Right.
He did make runs in Australia, just that he didn't get that 3-figure, but he looked good, right? I think the challenge for him would be the SEN countries, South Africa, England, and New Zealand, where the ball seams and swings. That's where his problem would be.
Hopefully.
So that's with Rohit. So Rohit played a very good knock. Basically, I mean, I get that they went with Ashwin for the man of the match because he got 100 in the second innings and then he got like 8 wickets for the match. But I would do Rohit because he was the game changer. I mean, Ashwin, for all the hard work he put in, for the kind of batting he did along with Kohli in that partnership, by that time the game was already decided. Seriously.
Right.
So I would have given the thing for Rohit. Yeah. Yep.
Hopefully Rohit makes the best out of it, because the next World Test Championship, not this year, the next year, 2021 and 23, India has to go and play in New Zealand, South Africa, and probably England as well. And if Rohit was part of the squad, I think he must make the best use of it.
Yep. The after IPL, I think India is going for a 5-test series to England. That's where we would know how good is Rohit away from home.
So let's come back to this test match.
So we talked about Rohit, and then we talked about Rahane. The main positive, as I said, is Wriddhiman Saha's brilliant. Rishabh Pant. Rishabh Pant's brilliant wicket keeping. Looks like that's it. I think that's curtains for Saha, I guess. But I think we should recognize what Saha gave to this team, Ganesh. To be very frank, right? He was one of the important players in the team, in the test team, whenever we played at home as well as abroad. Probably he was the best wicket keeper we had in a long time. I think he's much better than MS Dhoni, to be very frank, in test cricket, in terms of keeping abilities alone. So he should have a good farewell at least from the Indian side. Yeah. So that, and then the other big positive is, even though we couldn't replace Ravindra Jadeja, but we found alternate for him, at least in the bowling and in the fielding. I'm not sure whether you saw that run-out hit for Joe Root. Even though he was home, he was able to aim at a single stump and he was able to hit the stumps. That's classic Ravindra Jadeja. So Akshar Patel had a good fifer in the second innings, and the ball that he bowled to get rid of Joe Root was so special. It was very special. It was a very special ball. It took a special ball from Akshar Patel to dismiss Root.
Fantastic, cool.
So that's the two unknown things. Akshar Patel and Rishabh's keeping was the two most positives, which we never knew that they could do this before going into the match. The rest all were known. Rohit's 100, we knew he could score runs. Ashwin, how many fifers he has created and how many hundreds? I mean, this is his 5th 100. So those are all known stuff. These are the two unknowns actually.
Great. Thanks, Rajiv. What do you think about the toss? Would the toss been made any difference on the second test?
Okay, if you ask Michael Vaughan and all those English commentators, they would certainly say so. But in my opinion, nope. Even let's say England won the toss, if they batted as badly as how they batted in their first innings, they would have still lost the match. Maybe they wouldn't have lost by 300 odd runs. Probably they would have lost by 150 or 200 odd runs. I think England shouldn't have let India score 329 on that day one wicket. They should have kind of restricted them around 220 to 250, the max. Yeah. And to be very honest, Ganesh, right? England are not doing any favors with themselves, right? So they dropped Bess on the first test, and then they got Moeen into the game, right? On the thinking that Moeen any spinner, right? Any spinner, fast bowler, doesn't matter, right? Any player who is playing a test match without any kind of actual match practice, like playing a 4-day game or playing a 3-day game or playing a test match, right? You're going to struggle in the first inning, so you're going to take some time to get used to the pitch, the conditions, your revolutions in the ball, the way your arm works, and all those things, right? You need a little bit of confidence. So Moeen had a very bad first innings, right? But his second innings was very good. He improved. Like he got like 8 wickets in the match, which is not bad for a guy who's playing a test match after 6 months or whatever, right? And then his second innings 48, where he basically what he did was he came out of the ground and then slapped Akshar for 3 sixes. And he got that 43 odd or something like that, right? He was in a good frame of mind. And now I'm hearing from Joe Root that he's going home. I have no clue what's the point. I mean, I don't even know what they're doing, right? You drop Dom Bess, his confidence is going low. And then you got Moeen, who basically bowled like Dom Bess in the first innings, like so many full tosses. And then the second innings, he's bowling better and he got some runs and he's going away. England aren't doing themselves any favors, Ganesh. That's my point of view.
There are quite a few things that happened behind the doors, which is not very clear on their selection tactics. And I think it had made even the England pundits question it. Like I think it was Andrew.
Let's even look at the replacements. Okay, let's say that if England pundits or whoever you call them, right, comes back saying it's because of the selection that they lost the match. I don't think so, right? What do? They replaced Jofra Archer with Ollie Stone. In fact, Ollie Stone got the wickets, right? So it was a like-to-like replacement. They did not miss anybody, right? They replaced Anderson with Broad, right? It's not that Broad did not create chances. He created 2 chances, right? And both of the chances were of Ashwin in the second innings, right? Stokes dropped a catch and Ben Foakes dropped a very tough catch because he was standing up to the stumps. So it was a like-to-like replacement. Broad performed admirably well in those conditions, right? And then Moeen also performed well for Dom Bess. And then Butler was going away because he was supposed to go away, and they replaced him with Foakes. In fact, Foakes had a better game than Butler.
That's right. Yeah.
This is not about the selection, Ganesh. This is nothing to do with the 4 changes or anything. I'm not giving a single penny for those folks who thinks that it's because of the selection. No way. No.
Okay.
It's not the selection. It's not the pitch. It's just that England played bad cricket and they were outclassed by an opposition who knows very well how to perform in these conditions. And let's be honest, out of the 11 people who played for India in the test match, only one person had a very poor match. It was Shubman Gill, who had a rare failure. Everybody else contributed. We don't need to go through one by one, but I think everybody else contributed.
Okay, well said. Now that you spoke about the pitch, I think Joe Root was saying that, almost everybody in England was saying the pitch was a bad pitch and deteriorating and everything. But Joe Root was saying maybe England team needs to learn from India on how to handle these kind of different pitches. What's your view on this?
Yeah, I agree. At least I give it to Joe Root that he's at least willing to say something like that instead of the pundits over in Twitter who are basically saying that it's a bad pitch or something. To all those pundits who are talking about bad pitch, right? Let's rewind to 2017 or 2018 whenever India toured England the last. What was the pitch they served for India at Lord's? What was that? Where India were knocked out on 113 and 92 runs, something like that, right? Yeah. So I'm not going for that. The one thing I'm talking, the one thing I would say is like Joe Root comes and says that we need to learn from India. For how many years, dude? Seriously, right? England has all the money in the world, right? They can send their A team. Forget the COVID. Before COVID, let's talk pre-COVID, right? Whenever the men's senior team is in India performing in a test match, right? On the same time, there will be an A tour for England folks. England A will come, which means the England Lions team, I guess, right? Yeah. England Lions team will come and play in India, right? With the India A team, right? They are getting all those preparations, and it's all those A team members who ends up in the national team in a couple of years. They have done so many A teams, right? They have so many A tours who have basically played in these kind of pitches. No, I'm not agreeing to that, Ganesh. This is like, you can just say even after 20 years of having 8 tours, even after 7-8 years of playing England players playing the IPL. I mean, I understand it's T20 cricket and Test cricket. It's all different, but it's still the conditions, the way the ball turns and everything is very similar, right? So after having all those experiences, if you're still gonna give that answer, sorry mate, it doesn't work for me. If you're, let's say, West Indies or Sri Lanka or Afghanistan or even New Zealand for that purpose, I would have at least agreed to that, because they don't have that wealth that England or Australia has, where they can send their players for 8 tour and get the performance out of them. No, I mean, I'm not buying that, dude, seriously.
So it's not the pitch, it's definitely the team's performance. And many people say
they bowled badly in the first innings and they batted badly in the first innings. Yeah.
I mean, we keep hearing that the local team, they prepare the pitches in such a way that it favors the local team. But now, I mean, in this particular test, it seems that it's not just favoring the bowling, it also favors the batsman. Like Ashwin, he made use of the pitch that's turning and he scored a century here.
That was a very different Ashwin innings, Ganesh. The reason why I think this was a very different Ashwin innings is because of 2 to 3 reasons. One, I have never in my life seen Ashwin play the sweep. He has never played the sweep. And in this innings, he knew this is going to be a very tough wicket to bat on, so he need to have a get-out shot. So he played the sweep, right? And then he played spin really well, right? Using the sweep and then trying to be proactive by working on the gaps, right? So those are the 2 things which I really found. And I also think England missed the trick by not bowling Holy Stone and Stuart Broad at Ashwin more, to be very frank.
Okay, yep.
Right, because the 2 chances that Ashwin actually gave was of Stuart Broad. So, I mean, it's a really good innings in the context of the match, right? But this is not something we usually see from Ashwin. Ashwin has made centuries, I totally agree with you. But this is a different kind of century because you have to get the context right? So day 3 at the start of the day, right? Pujara is batting, right? Pujara, like the way Pujara does, just for somehow he finds a way to lose himself, right? So that's that stumping chance where the bat was stuck in the pitch or something like that happened, right? So it was like wicket after wicket after wicket. So Pujara went, and then Rahane went, and then Pant went, right? So and then Akshar Patel also went. So India was somewhere around 100 for 6 or something like that when Ashwin came in and worked with Kohli, right?
For 6,
Exactly, something like that. And then from there, you have to admire Virat Kohli's and Ashwin's single-mindedness just to show all these commentary folks and all these people who are so-called pundits who are trying to say that this is not a pitch where you can bat, right? The single-mindedness just to show that you can bat in this pitch, you can make runs in this pitch is something that needs to be really appreciated, Ganesh.
Fantastic, cool. I think that sheer grit and determination on the field made all the difference.
Correct. Yes. And then, I mean, we don't even need to talk about Ashwin's bowling performance. That's a given. We know this is going to happen, right?
Yeah.
We shouldn't even talk about it. That's a given that, okay, at Chennai, if you're going to, I mean, if Ashwin is bowling on a regular Chennai wicket, he's going to get wickets. This is not a regular Chennai wicket. This is a rage turner in Chennai. So there's no question about it.
So now that we spoke about the pitch and also Ashwin's performance, let's talk about the next cricket test match, which is basically the pink ball test match, which is very, very rare in India. I think this may be the first or the second time this happening.
Second test
happening in India. What do you think about the pink ball test? And I think England has got a familiarity to it already.
England is very familiar. I think in England they have done one pink ball test in Edgbaston, and I mean, you don't need to even talk about an Edgbaston test match where England is. I think Edgbaston is probably England's most favorite wicket in terms of crowd, because the remarkable holy stand, right?
That's
right. I mean, that's like if you see an Australian player sitting in, fielding on the boundary near the holy stand, he's going to get a mouthful, right? So that's the kind That's the kind of ground we are talking about. So England won that test, I believe, the pink ball, and then I think they also performed really well in a pink ball test in Adelaide, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, in Australia.
Right? In Australia. So England, to be very frank, 1-1 score line after Chennai, going to Ahmedabad, where this is the first time a match is played in the newly developed Motera Stadium. I am not 100% sure whether they changed the wicket or not, but this is a brand new stadium, right? So it's a lot of unknown. We haven't seen a test match there. We haven't seen a international match at all. I think the only matches that were played was the T20, that domestic T20 trophy, right? So the wicket is going to be an unknown. So everything is going to be unknown, right? But one thing I am in favor of England is because they have all their fast bowlers fit. Anderson is going to come back.
Yes.
For I don't know for whom. It's whether it's Stone or Broad. I have no clue. Anderson is going to play and Jofra Archer is going to play. There is no question about it. Those two people are going to come back. You know what? I think England might go in with 3 fast bowlers.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So I think they might go in with Jofra Archer, Jimmy Anderson, and one of Broad or Stone or Wood. And then they will have only one spinner, I guess, in Bleach. That's it. If they want someone to bowl, they have Joe Root to bowl.
Right. Yeah. I think they already demonstrated in the first and second.
Correct. Yeah. So Moeen is gone. I don't think they might not play best, right? They might not play best. I think it's good. It's good that they are going to. England won't lose hope, right? Yeah. They're going to a new venue where India has not played a test match in a long time. It's a brand new ground. It's a lot of unknown, and they have a pink ball test, right? The only thing England shouldn't underestimate India while going into a pink ball test match, thinking they don't have the same fast bowlers to play a pink ball test, right? I have a feeling they might, but they shouldn't, because the last time India played a pink ball test in India was in Kolkata. It's the inaugural pink ball test match, right?
Okay, yeah.
In that test match, I think the test was over in 2.5 days, where basically seamers took 90% of the wickets. I think Shami, Ishant Sharma, I guess, or is it Bhuvneshwar Kumar? I don't know. I don't remember. I think it was Shami and Ishant for sure. Basically just bowled Bangladesh out so cheaply. So India still have those resources. Bumrah is going to be back.
Yeah.
Bumrah is going to be back. Shami, I am hearing, is going to be fit, right?
Oh,
Ishant is already fit, right? Siraj is also there. Even India might go with 3 pace bowlers, along with Ashwin.
That might be a very different thing, actually.
Yeah, exactly. Along with Ashwin and Akshar Patel. Yep. So I'm quietly looking forward. Nice. And one more thing is, I understand Joe Root and company and everybody in the England team wants to play the sweep, but in certain wickets in India, it's not the right option. It's kind of low percentage option, right? As you saw in the second test, in Chennai test, the concluded Chennai test, where many people were out sweeping. So it's a very low percentage option in wickets which has uneven bounce. So hopefully they learn from that.
Fantastic. So
going into Ahmedabad,
that you suggest is getting in 3 bowlers for both India and England, and
they might. England. I'm 90% sure they'll go for 3 fast bowlers and 1 spinner with Joe Root for some part timers. India, I'm 50-50.
Okay. Would you suggest any batting changes on both the teams?
Gill, if he's not fit, Mayank is gonna come in, I guess.
Right.
Right. And so Kuldeep is going to miss out for sure, right?
Oh, right. Okay.
Kuldeep is going to miss out for sure because the pink ball, if it seems around in the pink ball test, it's going to miss out for sure. For England, it's going to be a little more difficult to predict, because I'm seeing 4 changes again for England. Right. So Rory Burns had a very nightmarish first 2 tests, right? He didn't make a lot of runs. So I see Zach Crawley coming in because he's a really good player of pace. If it's going to be seaming around, Zach Crawley is a good player of pace.
Right.
Sibley's
okay.
going to be there, and then number 3, Johnny Barristow just comes in, slots in at number 3, and then you have Root. Yeah, he just came back, right? So number 3 is going to be Barristow, and then you have Root, you have Stokes, and then you have who's your number 6? Oli Pope. Yeah, Pope is going to play, and then 7 it's going to be Foakes, Ben Foakes, and then 8 Moeen. That's it. Moeen is done for the series, right?
Yeah.
So instead of Moeen, they might get one of the fast bowlers, and then you have Anderson, Jofra Archer, and probably Jack Leach. That would be my 11 for England. And then India, India, everybody selects themselves. Just that Kuldeep might be replaced with Shami, I guess, or Kuldeep and Siraj might be replaced with Shami and Bumrah. But Bumrah is surely coming. So yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
Fantastic, Rajiv. I think, as you said, maybe the pink ball test is a bit difficult to predict. We don't know what is going to happen, what's being supposed to be, and how it's going to turn out. But I think it definitely has to be in India's favor. If India is really interested in going to the World Test Championship Lords, India has to win the series at least 2-1. And I think if India wins with one, if the series ends in a draw, with each of the teams having only one match win.
So for
Australia goes in.
So for once, Australian supporters are gonna support Palms. Is that right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. That's really funny.
I never thought I would say that sentence in one line. Australia supporting England. I never thought.
All right, great. It's very nice catching up with you, Rajiv. And I think we have analyzed almost every single aspect. So before going into the next test match, we got 4 or 5 days gap from here for the next test match.
So the test match ended in day 4. So you have 1 day already in Chennai, and then you got I think a week or so gap before we move to the new Motera Stadium.
Yeah,
it's been 6 years since we had test cricket over there.
Right, yes.
And England doesn't have fond memories playing there, Ganesh. The last time they played there, I think they lost by 200 runs, even though Cook scored 100. Even Matt Pryor scored 100, but still they lost.
Right, okay. Fingers crossed. It won't be too much of a nightmare for them. Hopefully, they will also put their best, and we will put.
I think England will be confident, Gani. I'm not. This is not the old England team which we have seen, right? Where they will throw in the towel as soon as they lost test match. I don't think this Joe Root's team is like that. They believe in it. Even the last day, right? Even the 4th day, right? Yes. I was thinking they will just cuddle down in 20 overs before lunch or something, right? No, they didn't. In fact, Root played very maturely. And then Moeen kind of got a 40 odd, and then Stokes was willing to bide time and play very maturely, right? He should be. Just that Stokes got a very good ball against Akshar, right? So I think I don't think England is just going to throw in the towel, especially because it's a pink ball test and all their seamers are fit.
So exciting days ahead. We're looking forward to the next cricket, and hopefully, if we get some more details upcoming in the next few days, we will have another catch up soon. Thank you, Rajiv.
Sure.
Thanks for your time today.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. That's with another episode of Cricket Talks from the House of Talks. Hope you all enjoyed it. Please subscribe and share to our channel. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.